Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. We are excited to present ResuMatch as an innovative tool. It's an innovative tool built on a agentic approach to job searching. So in today's job market, it's a time-consuming and a very overwhelming process to find the right job. So every single time you apply for a job, you're searching for a job, you get like 100 listings back from just a single job title. And much of the time is spent on sorting through these jobs that is not relevant and maybe not a good fit. And this also limits the candidates' options to only the roles already familiar with, ignoring the maybe more suitable jobs just under different job titles. And this is when ResuMatch comes in. Our goal is to simplify this process for users and help them find the best job that's fit to their skill set.
Okay, so now we'll see a quick demo of how to use a product. So we just upload a resume, and then we can input a location that we are looking at a job for, and just submit. So everything runs in the backend. It passes the resume and extracts the features or the industry or education from that, and then it scrapes the net to get the jobs, and it returns the links that are the best matches. We can also see here, like the resume had mechanical engineering experience as well as AI, and which is very well expressed in the job description. Here we can see if you enter an invalid location, it does not give a result. It returns an error.
Yeah, so looking at the architecture, we have, starting with the inputs that the user provides, is the resume as well as the location, and both are parsed and then go through their own validation agents. And then the resume is taken and the features are extracted, and these are like the experience level and the industry of the candidate. And then with the location, we will scrape the internet for jobs and get related job postings. And then with the job postings, we use those and the resume to determine which jobs the candidate's a best fit for in the form of URLs. And then looking more at the job fit agent, what we do here is we actually pass the resume text and the job descriptions to their own JSON summarizers before determining if it's a good fit. And this was as a result of experimentation and other prompt engineering. But the motivation here is that recruiters often have categories in their head for a resume and a job description. So we try to kind of emulate a more human thought process here.
Okay, so let's talk about data. So the primary purpose of data for us was to evaluate our agents. And since we have 4 agents, we have 4 data sets. And the primary sources of our data sets were Hugging Face and manually labeling and creating data ourselves. And in the second column, in green, you can see the input to the agents, and in the red is what the agents are outputting. So for all of the agents, the input is some kind of text. So either resume text, job description text, or like location or something like that. And then the output is what it's trying to classify and predict. And so the main pre-processing that we did on the data was to ensure that the labels were distributed equally. And so after pre-processing, you can see that we have achieved that roughly. Yeah.
So to evaluate the feature extraction agent, we use 2 confusion matrices to actually access the accuracies. So we use another LLM to further categorize the industry down to 20 categories, 20 industries, and with further fine-tuning, so we're able to improve the accuracy from 17% to 58% over 20 industries, and 45 to 74% for the experience classification.
Right, so looking at the quantitative results for the final agent, the job matching agent, I think before interpreting these results, it's important to keep in mind that job fit is a fairly subjective classification problem, and something that's a good fit may be a potential fit, and maybe something that's also a no fit could also be a potential fit. So it really depends who's evaluating this. Although you can see that overall the agent can determine generally a no fit or versus like a potential or a good fit.
Okay, so here we can see the jobs that it returns. We know that data science and machine learning is a pretty popular field today. So it has a lot of job recommendations. For other fields as well, it's pretty well matched.
So the main learnings that we had was one thing we would have liked to know when we started was to focus on the purpose of data earlier. We kind of figured that out halfway through, and then we focused on that now. The second thing about data is, as Lucas mentioned earlier, it's a very subjective task to classify whether a job and a job description are a match and other things. So sometimes when we were evaluating whether an agent misclassified an example, we actually agreed with what the agent said rather than what the data said. And this is interesting because it just highlights that there's a lot of bias because we're like 20-something-year-olds trying to make a job thing, and we don't have, we're very biased in creating this.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in terms of the job matching, maybe a direct label like good and potential fit and no fit may not be the best metric. Maybe there could be some form of numerical categorization based on some parameters like experience and education that maybe give a more comprehensive overview of fit.
Also, another thing that we can see is the agent does not take the chronological order of things into order. For example, if a person has recently graduated, but it has extensive work experience as a subsection, so it will likely match the work experience or the part-time work experience rather than the education itself.
Thank you.
Thank you.